Well, hello, and if you're watching this, hey, welcome to our Solutions Will Profit family. It's all about the right daily actions to profit. That's what business is all about, regardless of what opportunity that you choose to run with. So, what this is all about is how to get started correctly. And that's really important for an entrepreneur because really the industry stats show that almost 97% of the people that try to earn in work from home industry fail to get paid. And they fail for quite a while before they figure out how to do it. So if we can show you what the difference is between the 97% that fail and the 3% that succeed, then it'll help you to really be able to get your business off to a correct start. I'm a firm believer in actions to profits over hype. I'm a firm believer it's not whatever it takes to get the job done. To me, in my opinion, that is a very sure sign that the devil's in the lead. Why? Because when you say, I will do whatever it takes, what that means is it doesn't matter if it violates God's laws or man's laws. When you say, I will do the right thing daily, because that's all we got, one day at a time, and you understand how to do the right things daily, those seeds turn into plants that turn into trees that produce fruit that make more seeds that turn into more plants. So if you understand the law of sowing and reaping, this guy Jesus behind me explains it quite well. And really, it's what you give out in life that will come back to you. So if you want to receive a lot of things, you got to learn how to give a lot of things. And when it comes to your success in this industry, you have to learn how to give value to others. You have to learn to listen for the problem and then schedule the time for the solution. And by doing those three simple things, it will allow you to understand the three basic fundamentals to success in this industry, being prospect for business, where we're going to find the people to do business with, which you have to do daily. And then we got present the opportunity properly at a scheduled time, which we got to do daily. And then we've got follow up with the people that we've worked with. We got to do that daily. So we're going to work a 5-day work week. We're going to have a commitment to 1 hour a day, 5 days a week in duplication. Outside of that 1 hour a day, if you want to put in more and operate different methods to make it happen, that's when you do so. But first, duplicate the path that's been proven. And it's not because I'm the big cheese, man. I'm far from the big cheese. It's because that's what's proven to work. And when you understand the right actions to take daily, and you understand that the secret to this whole industry, it's not how cool it sounds. It's not how great it looks. It's all about, can the next person do it? Will it duplicate? Is it affordable? Is it simple? And when it's yes to all three of those things, you're really positioned in a really good spot as an entrepreneur to put your thoughts into writing and turn that plan into action, and that action will become a harvest. It's simply a process, and you're learning how to do it today. So I want to welcome you aboard the team, and we're going to talk about two fundamental things that the 3% do that hold 90% of the wealth in America. And the 3% of the population that holds 90% of America's wealth, that would be the entrepreneurs, not the employees, the entrepreneurs. You see, employment is a stepping stone to entrepreneurship. Sadly, a lot of people never even figure that out. But you have. You're in the right place now. And you can do anything that you put your mind to. We're not going to ask you to violate any of God's laws or man's laws here. But I'm going to lay out 5 key points to making a list. And I'm going to lay out 5 key points behind a 90-day roadmap. And it's crucial for your success. I mean, we look at a book like this one today, all right? Eric Worre talks about one of the fundamentals being a 90-day roadmap. Sorry about that, folks. Eric Worre talks about a 90-day roadmap that will allow you to create your own success with. And he learned that from interviewing hundreds and hundreds of million-dollar earners that went from $0 to $1 million in this industry. The one most important, crucial factor to that taking place, that success happening, is the ability to be able to put that 90-day plan into action. So here's the thing. Nobody wants to do that kind of stuff. So when you look at the 2 fundamentals, make a list and put a 90-day roadmap into writing of what are you going to commit to on a bare minimum. And what I'm suggesting is that you commit to no less than 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, to do at least that as a minimum. And if you want to do it different ways than what we're showing you here, then you're more than welcome to outside of that 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. So maybe you want to do 10 hours a week, and that's 2 hours a day. Do it the way that duplicates, and then there's nothing wrong with having the freedom to try all the other things that you want to try as well. Just do what duplicates first, and that will put earning in your corner. Where else can we learn from the past about the millionaires of the future? This guy was learning at the same time I was, and he got more successful than me. He was a faster learner than I was, but I finally did get it down. This guy, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, is the book that really impacted this industry, not just myself, in a major way. Now, when I got this book 23 years ago, I believe it was over 30 years old at that point in time. So, I mean, we're talking about an extremely valuable book. And inside that book, he lays out 6 fundamentals to being able to accomplish the success of your dreams. And he talks about the most important fundamental being to have a clear, definite, major purpose in writing, even dated, of what you intend to do, recognizing the fact that there is no such thing as something for nothing. What do you intend to do on a daily basis that won't break God's laws or man's laws, that will allow this success to gradually go from A to B where you want to go? And that's that simple. And by using that formula, most of the success on the planet that you see today has taken place. So when we talk to you about having a 90-day roadmap in writing, it's not because we like to hear ourselves talk. It's not like because we want to feel important and we finally get to lead something. It's because we love you enough to share the truth with you that's kind of uncomfortable to learn at first. But once you go through the process, you then understand the process. And wouldn't it be nice to understand the process while you're getting paid at the same time? You see, many people learn the process, and it takes them 6 months to a year before they finally fathom the fact that the whole idea isn't being the master explainer. It's being the person that knows how to point the way to the direction that's going to allow the person they're speaking to to go where they want to go in the first place, from point A to point B. Point A to point B. It's that simple. So think about what I'm saying here. If you just call somebody up and tell them you got the greatest business opportunity in the world and blah, blah, blah guru, blah, blah, blah company owner, and oh, you won't believe the comp plan and the ingredients in this product's just going to be the bee's knees, man. I tell you what you're going to get. The people that are doing that are failing. 97% of the time, you're going to fail with that. But when you take the time to get to know people as the business owner yourself, it's not about cramming what you have to offer down their throat. It's about knowing how to serve them. And if you know what they need, because you ask them questions in conversation, and they answer those questions, and the answers to those questions indicate that you have a solution to the problem they're talking about with your business, now you simply schedule a time, A or B, when they got 30 minutes or so in front of their computer with no interruptions. And whenever they ask you a question, and almost all the time they do, what are you going to say to them? Well, the boss says I got to do it this way, or we're not getting paid. So, man, if you don't want to do it, I'm sorry. That's what most people say. Leaves a person going, what? Now, you've just listened to their problem. Hey, look, what you're going to appreciate most is I don't have the magic answer. Someone else does. But I know how to get you in front of the information that will solve that problem. It's going to take about a half an hour of your time. And as you see that I don't have to explain it, and you never have to learn how to explain it, we can both get paid to learn to just point the way when we hear the problems that you've just described. Now, that would be a fun way to get paid every week, don't you think? And I feel that you deserve that kind of knowledge. So again, would 4 o'clock this afternoon or 7 o'clock tonight be best for you? And you set the appointment. That's all you do. You become the master inviter. And you are going to position yourself into a spot where you can create success on a massive scale. So it's not about knowing all the answers. It's not about knowing the comp plan inside out. It's not about any of that. It's all about learning how to listen to people. And as they share the problem with you, you recognize that we have the solution and a path that will allow them to solve that problem. When we speak to them along those lines instead of the greatest company, the greatest guru, the most awesome comp plan, oh, you got to see this guy, he's unbelievable. Don't make it about the one guy. Don't make it about the company. Don't make it about a product. That is not interesting to them. When you read a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, to understand the secrets that the masters with the millions have already learned, and that's where they learned them from, to learn to communicate with people properly. In that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, you learn that the most important sound to a person's ears is their own name. The largest passion in their heart is to tell their story. So what you want to learn in this industry is how to ask them questions that allow them to tell their story. In their story, you're going to hear the problem, and all you got to do is schedule the time for the solution. These are actions you can take over and over again. What has been proven to take people from zero to $1 million in a year to 2 years, more than anything in the industry? 5 times per day. Now, you work a job 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 40 hours a week. So what if you worked this part-time? 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, 25 hours, and just did it properly. You could create a full-time income on those part-time efforts. The secret is duplication. And duplication comes when the information and the tools do the explaining. All you do is the guiding. And when you have that concept down, it's really easy because you don't have to focus on how you're going to close the deal. You're focusing on what's the problem. Oh my gosh, based on what they're saying, our business can help them here, here, and here, and they don't even have a clue. They're working so hard. Oh, wow. Imagine if they only knew. These are the thoughts going through your mind. And when they're all done telling your story, what are you going to do? Schedule an appointment? Oh, you ain't going to believe this. I've ran into a group of people that have mastered the art of solving problems exactly like the one you just described. And it's taken scale on a global effect. Really, you deserve to see this information. I'm not a salesperson. And I don't ever want you to be either. But what's exciting is we all get paid to point the way and let the information show the solution. Would 4 o'clock this afternoon or 7 o'clock tonight be better for you? See how easy that is? And when that's what you ask over and over again, it don't take long to memorize that. It becomes a part of you, and that reflex of being a servant will draw people to you like a magnet. But if you go out there with fear of loss tactics, if you go out there with I got the magic guru, if you go out there with I've got the magic closing techniques because I'm a closer, right? You might be able to close 1,000 deals, but can you make 1,000 of them stick? If you want to avoid refunds in your business, you learn how to serve people, not cram something down their throat. If you want to enjoy that residual money, the repeat business, you build that relationship with people first, and it's like glue. And when they know that what you're showing them, because you're willing to let your actions do your teaching, they can't wait to follow a path like that. So I hope what I'm sharing with you is helping you. Now, what I want to point out, there's 5 things we need to look at when it comes to building a list. A lot of people will pull out a phone book and go through the alphabet, A to B, C. Who do I know that starts with this letter? Who do I know that? There's several things out there. John Maxwell has a website, gopro.com. And if you look at, or not John Maxwell, I'm sorry, Eric Worre, networkmarketingpro.com. And if you go to networkmarketingpro.com, you can see where he's got a memory jogger in there that teaches you how to build a list of the people that you've met over the years who know that if you're speaking, what you're sharing is the real thing. And it's not about what you're selling. It's about what you're talking about. They trust your communication. So that's what you're building a list of. And you're not building a list to go cram a business down these people's throats. You're building a list so you can make a connection with them. Ask them some questions based on their family, their occupation, their recreation. And then when you hear those 3 things, now you're ready to deliver the message. And that's an acronym known as FORM that's been taught longer than I've been alive in this industry. So family, occupation, recreation. How big's your family? What do you do for work? Oh, really? Well, what makes you want to do that? Well, I like to go on vacation and go places with my family. Wow. So now you know how big their family is, they got a job, and why they got the job they chose. And now you understand exactly where your message can deliver an even major solution to the problems that they're facing from that conversation. So now we're going to explain the fact that we don't have to do any explaining very quickly. And we're going to be excited to show them a direction to see a solution. And when they look at how this process goes and they realize that all you did was point somebody to some information, let them see that information, and make a 3-way call at the end of that process with the coach or the call center, and there's somebody there to wrap a game plan around the hours that they can commit to. Now that's service. That's building relationships. That is key. So when you're making a warm market list, Keep in mind you're serving them. You're not going to rush out and sell them your business. And then number 2, we use social networks. You can utilize Facebook, and you recognize the leaders that are the most followed leaders. You can do a Google search on the top trainers in MLM. Pull up the top 20 trainers, and then do the search in the Facebook bar in keyword search about the people that follow those leaders. Pick out about 4 leaders. And realize the people are following those leaders because they are not getting paid most of the time. And they're trying to learn how to get paid. So then you check them out. You look at their Facebook page without being their friend yet. And based on what they've got in their profile and what they're posting daily, if you recognize the fact they're posting their link 3, 4, 5 times a day, and that seems to be the majority of what they're posting, they still haven't figured out that they have to listen for the problem, then present the solution. That's why they're not getting paid. They don't understand that. They're following that person, which means they're purchasing that person's stuff. And you can form a relationship with them, identify that the problem is, and show them how the solution you have can make a difference. And when they see what it's like to be served instead of upgrade fee to the next level that I want to be, they will stay with you. Your team will multiply, and they appreciate integrity. So what I'm sharing with you is the nuts and bolts that will allow you to catapult your career here. So the social networks are good places to use. I just showed you different ways that you could locate people that are perfect prospects for your business based on how they post their links, based on who they're following. Means they're already in the industry. They're already trying to earn, recognizing that the majority are failing. They're following a leader because they want something different, so they're willing to try something different. That's pretty good. But those leaders today are doing the upsell thing, right? So if they can't afford to go through that total game, they'll follow that leader until they can. So as you look for the right people, and based on their actions in their posting, you see they got the right attitude, just the wrong method. All we got to do is make a connection with them, become their friend, use that acronym FORM, and understand by the answers to the questions that you ask, then we figure out when to schedule a time for them to see the solution. So that's social list building. You can connect with 10 people a day on Facebook alone or LinkedIn and have 20 connections a day. So think about that. You can also utilize Craigslist.org. Go to the resume section and look for sales, customer service, or work from home. Only those 3. And if they don't have a real phone number or a real email address, not that Craigslist hide behind thing, they're not raising their hand saying, I want to get paid today. But if they will put their real phone number and their real email address in there, they're definitely showing you they're ready to go to work today. And when you call them up and say, hey, I've got a path for you, and I know it fits the skills that are in your resume, the pay's independent. If you don't show up to work for the week, you don't get paid for the week. Would you like the details behind that? I sure would. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Yes, I can. The information you're going to see is going to be about 20 minutes to a half an hour. I'm not talented enough to explain things. I just kind of point the way. But by pointing the way and getting paid for it, it sure is a blessing. When I can teach you to do the same thing, you're going to love the process. So would A or B time be good for you to see what we have? Boom, there you go. Really, it's that simple. It's just a matter of understanding to communicate and serve instead of sell and cram. Okay? So, now we're talking about solo ads. This is a way that you could purchase clicks to your website, whether you're a home business success system user. And by purchasing those clicks to the website, you're going to get their phone number and their email address, and you're going to start the same process I just explained. Well, why would you do that? They've already opted into my website, of course. Now you're going to show them that you value them. You're going to be able to share with them how to point, how to grunt, and how to get paid for it. You see what I'm saying? And as they see there's a real person behind the system that solves the most 4 largest problems in the industry, holy cow, they're excited and they're ready to roll. It's just allowing the information to do the talking for you, and you being able to let them know that not just you, but your coaches and our call centers in their corner as well. And they get kind of excited to see a process that they haven't seen anywhere else, that's got a live person that's got an interest in them and doesn't want to charge them money for their advice. They kind of appreciate that. It's called giving to receive. It's the law of sowing and reaping, found in this big old book here called Bible, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. And it's taught by the most followed leader on the planet. So whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. If you want success, you got to understand the principles that the most successful follow. So I share these things with you. These solo ads are good. You can get between 10 clicks a day all the way up to 100 clicks a day at $1 a click. But understand, when you're buying paid traffic, that doesn't mean they come into your business until you prove to them that they're happy to have you in their corner. Then you earn their business. All the paid traffic does is get you in front of a person that has an interest. It's up to you to create the value in why they need to be involved with your system and your company. So how do you create that value? By showing them all they got to do is point and grunt, and they don't have to do the explaining. And when they see that, they're drawn to it. How do you show that to them? Demonstrate it with the process that you take them through. Pretty simple, isn't it? So we've covered that solo ads. Facebook advertising is another form of pay-per-click marketing that allows you to get traffic to your website. If you don't understand the process of Facebook advertising and how to place ads, you need to get an education before you try spending your money there, because you could spend hundreds of dollars a day and not get any ads, not any return on that investment at all, and no clicks. So it does work when you know how to do it properly. Most places you go, you got to pay for that kind of education. Does it work? Yes. But if you do it wrong, it's going to cost you nothing but money and headaches. And number 5, my favorite, is face-to-face daily contacts. When you're out and about and you see somebody who is serving properly, they're an employee with a positive attitude, and you are the most important thing on their mind, and they're demonstrating that with a smile. They're demonstrating that with the actions of how they perform their duty. And when you recognize that, that's when you say, hey, look, I really appreciate the way that you know how to treat me on a professional scale. I'm impressed with that. I happen to be hooked up with some people on a global scale where a lot of success is being made from people utilizing the internet from the comfort of their own homes. Now, I don't have a lot of time to go into details with you, but I would sure like to follow up with you. I got my business card here. Can I write down your phone number, your email address, and connect with you when you're not on the clock? Because I really don't want to get you in any trouble. Oh, no problem. And they give you the information right away because you started with a sincere compliment based on an action that they took with you. If you try it any other way, you're going to come across as hypothetical and nuts, and they won't even give you their information. But if you do it like I just said, and you learn to do that 3 to 5 times a day, every single day, you'll always have 3 to 5 people to follow up with that are excited for a solution to earnings. So think about what I'm saying now. We've talked about making the list. We're going to talk about committing to the 90-day roadmap. 5 things that you really need to understand there is how many prospects did you collect today? This is what needs to be analyzed daily, what needs to be put into writing. How many people am I going to add to my list of prospects, which doesn't mean they have to join your business today. It means they're on your list as a prospect today. And am I going to gather a minimum of at least 3 to 5 per day? And if you're doing the Facebook thing I was telling you about, the secret that's been proven to create the success is 10 of those connections a day. And out of those 10 connections, you might find maybe 3 good conversations that day. Maybe a couple more a couple days later. But each day, as you're gathering 10 new, you're adding to that pile of prospects based on proven actions that they're taking that show they're an exact prospect for what your business has to offer. So think about what I'm saying there. How many prospects a day are you going to commit to for your own success? My commitment in my first 90 days was no less than 25 connections a day to set 5 appointments a day, 5 days a week. That's how I broke in my team and went from 0 to 400 people in my first 90 days across 7 countries because I was just daily at it. I had no excuses. Every day I added 25 connections to my list. Every day I did the best I could to make sure there was 5 people scheduled for an appointment. And it's not your fault if somebody doesn't show up for an appointment. And again, it's not the end of the world either. Just book another appointment. If you really want to make your hour stick, if you've got 1 hour for an appointment, you book 3 appointments in that hour at 15, 30, and 45. And if two out of 3 don't show up, you've got production in that 1 hour. That's working smart. You don't have to just, it really is as simple, the things that you can do. So number 1, how many are you prospecting daily? Number 2, this needs to be in your 90-day roadmap of actions to profits. Number 2, how many people have you scheduled a set time for them to see the solution to their problem? And how many of those people are you doing a 3-way call with is number 3, where you're using your coach in your call center to show them that you don't do the explaining, you just do the pointing. And during that process, the coach points out, hey, do you see what Earl just did? He invited you to a website at a scheduled time. You saw the information. It had a solution to the problem you were facing. And then we asked you how many hours could you commit to at least 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. And if you gave us more hours than that, we showed you what that potential was and that we really had a path that would take you from point A to point B. Now, Earl saw you go through this process. He didn't have to do any explaining. Do you think you can do what Earl just did? They all say, yeah. Do you think you could do that 12 times over the next 30 days? Oh, definitely, I could do that. You do understand that there is no such thing as a real business that produces the potential of full-time pay without having a little bit of startup cost, operation expenses monthly. Most companies hide that. We're not going to. But what we've done is we've looked at how much is the proven amount to operate a business that's considered affordable. By looking at the tobacco industry, we've recognized a simple fact that even people that are food stamp dependent can still afford $8 a day, cash money, 30 days in a row. That's $240 for their habit. Now, we're not saying this is right or wrong. We're showing affordability here. So if somebody really wants to be an entrepreneur, we understand that if they want it bad enough, the affordability is there. So if we can do business properly 12 times over the next 30 days, and have a sample on hand so when they decide to get started, they can have product on hand until theirs shows up in the mail 3 to 5 business days later, sometimes a little longer, depending on what the mailing situations are. So you take a look at that, and you want them to have the product on hand. So what? So you can follow up with them. Ask them questions about how they feel on that product to prove to them that you weren't there to sell them just to make a buck, but you were concerned about how that product was helping them. Again, you're showing them more value, and you're creating that relationship by having that follow-up tool as one of your 12 sample bottles that come in your affordable pack for $199. Even $40 less than what they spend on the cigarettes. So in order to do business properly 12 times over the next 30 days and have that follow-up tool there for you, is there anything else that you need to know before we can help you make your first $100 in a day? Oh no, I could do what Earl just did, and if that's possible, $100 for doing what Earl just did, I can do that, and I know a lot of other people that can too. The excitement is created by the process of the system. So recognize what I'm saying to you. So, number one, how many are you going to prospect per day? Add to your list. Number two, how many are you going to present your opportunity to properly per day? And number three, how many three-way calls will you complete per day in your first 90 days? So you can practice the process to profits that you've never done before that lay out a proven method. That's all you're doing. And then number four, how many can you follow up with each day? And number five, as we're embarking on the most lucrative career on the planet, and we don't know all that much about it, are we personally developing ourselves a half an hour to an hour a day after we have completed our actions to profits? So see, those are the 5 things behind your 90-day roadmap. 1, how many people are you going to prospect daily? 2, how many you're going to present properly to daily? 3, how many three-way calls are you going to complete daily? 4, how many follow-ups are you going to complete daily? And 5, are you willing to educate yourself on the most lucrative career field that you work in on a daily basis? So when you do all 5 of those correct in your 90-day roadmap in writing, even if it's the minimum of 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, and your goal is to connect with 3 people a day, that's good. Put that in writing, commit to it, and do it. Do what you can. Commit to what you can. And ask yourself this question: as long as I'm not breaking God's laws or man's laws, is there any reason I'm not willing to dedicate this many hours this week, every week, consistently for 90 days to lay in the foundation to an income stream I can hand to my children for generations to come? It's how serious you take it, folks. And when you give it all you got, it'll give you all it's got. So, I hope you like what I've shared with you. I made this video as a welcome to the team. There is a lot of information below this video that's going to be in writing that will allow you to know where your tools are, how to utilize those tools, the numbers to the people in your corner. And when you have this kind of help in your corner, it allows you to sleep at night. And please recognize, for every month's supply, and this is a month's supply, for every one of these whole bottles that goes through your organization, with our Meals of Hope nonprofit program, there are Americans who are needy, who would not have ate for that day, that were delivered a free, full, well-balanced meal. So, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, for all of you that have been with us on this journey from the beginning, We have now 695 people on the team throughout over 7 countries. I just thank you for your commitment. You know, it's what it's all about, is to make a difference as well as making a living. Who doesn't want to feel better? Who doesn't want less pain in their life? Who doesn't want more energy? Who wouldn't enjoy less trips to the doctor? Who wouldn't enjoy more money in the monthly and weekly budgets? Huh? That's what you have with O2 Worldwide. A live coach who is a mouse click and a phone call away right here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. I'm not talking to hear myself talk. I've been in this industry 23 years. There's my picture with John Maxwell, most sought after leadership trainer. What I've learned from my mentors is when you can capitalize on a trend, and health and wellness being the largest one on the planet, and when you recognize the fact that in the health and wellness network marketing field is where the most money's ever been created for that field. Paul Zane Pilzer, leading economic forecaster, says it's in health and wellness. So the clues left behind by history and success in that history point out that there was a monthly auto ship average of $175 to $300 per month just to qualify for commissions. So think about what we have here at O2 Worldwide. $199. You're in business and set up to do business 12 times in 30 days. That's phenomenal. But what if you don't have the $199? You get this incredible back office. You get this incredible product and some training that's just dynamite for $60 a month. And if it's the leads you're looking for, you can also opt to get those leads, $59.95. You get 20 leads with real email addresses, real phone numbers of real people who have opted into a website stating they have an interest to work from home. So you got to connect with them and realize they've already clicked into 100 websites just like it. Let them know that you're a real person, not a telemarketer, that you have a way that they can earn money that won't violate God's laws or man's laws. When would they have 30 minutes in front of their computer? See how that works. And you set that appointment, go through the same process we just described. So recognize when your auto ship can be as low as $60 a month. It comes with 20 leads. Now you got leads with your business, your product, your education, and no upgrade fees, live people to work with you. Now think about what's been done before you at $175 to $300 a month, and you don't even get to talk to that person until you accomplish so many levels up. And then, if you've upgraded into their educational program, they might give you a few phone conversations or shake your hand. What do you see here? You see service over broken promises. Now, we're here to help you dedicate yourself to your own success, a mouse click and a phone call away. I highly suggest that you plug into our radio show Monday through Friday. If you don't get to see it live, click on the link and listen to the recording of it, because I'm doing teaching and training of what we're practicing in the field that's making the team grow. And we document all this so it can be proven to you. There's nothing to hide. But when you have what works and you have the ability to plug in and go, create a huge success path over 90 days. And after that 90 days, if you want to rewrite your game plan, take the three-way calling completely out because you got it mastered, well, then you've done it properly and you deserve to do so. But what you owe to yourself is a path to succeed. Commit to at least 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, practicing the proven system that I've shared with you on this video. And that will lay in your foundation. And if you work more than 1 hour a day on your own ways of doing the other types of marketing, that's exactly what's encouraged. But commit to that 1 hour a day of the proven methods, 5 days a week, 90 days, put that into writing, and guess what? At the end of that process, you'll see how you walked through the steps to success and enjoyed a journey, simply serving people from their point of need. My name is Earl Teets, known as the Mountain Man from Troy, Montana. God bless you. Welcome aboard the team, and welcome to our fall season. It's going to be an honor to watch you bloom and produce fruit that pays you over and over and over and over again. You deserve success when you plant seeds daily, and you plant seeds every season. After the first season, you have a harvest every day of every season. It's all about sowing and reaping, folks. Congratulations for taking the time to see a way to do it right. God bless you.